All right, welcome back to Sports Extra, everybody. I'm Reggie Chatman. Grant McAuley still with us, and when you know we're on this big board, it's time for Grant's Game Changers. Grant, by the way, this photo. Grant also, besides being the premier voice for all the Braves baseball, also a photographer. Grant, this is nice.
I do what I can.
Well, you're doing a good job.
A lot of guys player.
Huh?
Utility player.
Utility player. Like a lot of these guys we're about to see right here. Grant's Game Changers. Grant, the Braves have been up and down this season. Last week has been really nice. Who has really shined for you so far?
So we're not really going to go into utility players here. What we want to do is lead off with the guy who is now leading off for the Atlanta Braves and making a huge difference in doing so. That is Ronald Acuna Jr. I've talked about this for the last 3 weeks. I mean, he's burning as brightly as he has at any point in his career, batting .390 with 7 home runs in his first 21 games back. I think he could be the starting right fielder in the All-Star game. That's my theory, and he continues to back it up. And if he keeps mashing like this, not only could it help the Braves, but it also could help that case. But that's what Atlanta needs, somebody to ignite this offense, and there's nobody better to do it than Ronald. And it looks like if you had any worry or any wonder about what version of Acuna you were going to get back after the knee surgery, he has answered with a very loud and affirmative, maybe the best version, best shape of his life.
I mean, you could definitely say that. I mean, these home runs that he's hitting, man, feel like, well, I'm back in 2023.
Yeah.
He's hitting absolute nukes.
Yes.
Insane player. All right, let's move on a little bit. Our second guy, Michael Harris II, Grant. Why is he your second game changer?
Well, here's the deal with Michael Harris. While he has not been able to reach the highs offensively that Ronald Acuna Jr. has, I still think there's significant upside for him. It's about, as much as it is for the rest of the Braves lineup, finding consistency. A huge 3-run homer to tie the game up the other night against the Rockies. You know it's in there. He's just got to kind of find his way through this funk that he's been in. I think he's going to be an impact guy moving forward. He's been a slow starter in the past, and he's played some of his best baseball in the season's second half. And if he wants to start a little bit earlier, I don't think the Braves would mind.
Grant, I got to ask you, I was on a radio show. They asked me, is it maybe time to move on for Michael Harris? Did they pay him too much too early? What do you say to those radio heads?
You should not go on that radio show again.
Right.
No, you don't sell low on 24-year-old premium defenders with a plus bat that might just be going through a little bit of a lull.
That's what I said. I said, look, he brings that bat, he brings the defensive glove as well. I mean, that's always going to work. All right, your third game changer, Grant. Who should be looking out for you?
We got to talk about the pitching, and the Braves have Spencer & Spencer. It's not a law firm. It's not an 80s TV show. It is 2 premier right-handed pitchers, and this guy's Spencer Schwellenbach is pitching some of the best baseball of his young career. He has 35 strikeouts in his last 4 starts. He had 35 punch-outs in the previous 8. You kind of wondered if he was maybe going through that sophomore slump thing, but no, he's made the adjustments. His complete game against the Brewers, I think, is evidence that this guy is a big-time pitcher who can step up against good teams when the Braves need him to. That's kind of what he made his living on last year as well. So he needs to continue to do that, and the Braves need as much as they can get from him and from the next guy we're going to talk about, because the pitching is the foundation for what this club has done thus far and will do going forward.
I think my favorite moment from him this season, his birthday, he started hitting 99 and 100 just because he said it was feeling good coming out of the right arm.
Why not?
Man. Why not do it? All right, speaking of guys that can really pump up the MPH, Spencer Strider. What a guy.
Yeah, and we needed to see a little bit more as far as the velocity is concerned to feel like Spencer was getting back to being himself, and he answered big time against the Colorado Rockies. Yes, I know it's the Rockies, but 13 strikeouts and 6 scoreless innings, easily his best start. It looked like vintage Spencer Strider from 2023. He needed to make that progression. He was up average fastball velocity, a full mile per hour over his previous start. That, I think, will continue to creep up, but his slider also looked like he had more command and more control of that, and he had that lineup eating out of his hands. So you need to see more of this from Spencer Strider, but I do think that the Braves rotation, along with Chris Sale, Grant Holmes, and Bryce Elder, pretty formidable at the moment. You'll just see if the bullpen can kind of lock things down. And again, can the Braves give these guys enough run support? Braves
doing everything they can to keep us drawn in. The season's been tough, but they still got us feeling like everything's still ahead of them if they can kind of figure things out. Grant, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for watching Grant's Game Changers.